Hello, my dear friends. Myself, Dr. Atul Nagpure, and today I am discussing the topic ambidentate ligand. As you all aware that ambidentate ligands are the class of the ligand which possess a more than one donor atom or one donor site. But in actual case, it use only one site to form a linkage with the metal ion in order to form a particular complex. So let's discuss that. We having one ligand like AB ligand and which act as an ambidentate ligand. So I'm writing the structure here. Just consider that we have AB act as a ligand and in which both A and B atoms are the potential donor. So if A atom act as a donor, we're going to form a linkage with the metal, or if B act as a donor, it forms the linkage with the metal. So if you see, one molecule has a two donor sites A and B. But now question here, my dear friends, you must know surely that either A or B is actually forming a linkage, and for that we require some techniques, we require some method. So techniques I am discussing which can be very useful in order to investigate what types of linkages we have. So one of the base technique I should say in the coordination chemistry used for this study is called as a IR spectroscopy. Means infrared spectroscopy technique is widely used to investigate the type of the bonding. Second, a Raman spectroscopy is also used to investigate the bonding. And the next we can also use UV visible spectroscopy. These are the techniques are generally used. Then we can also use electronic spin resonance, also called electronic paramagnetic resonance spectroscopy. Then we can also employ nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. If we have especially iron complexes or tin complexes, and for that Mossbauer technique will be helped to investigate the type of bonding. These are the techniques we can use. Nowadays, one theory which is known as a density functional theory. Density functional theory is widely used by the coordination chemist in order to understand the type of the bonding. This is called as a DFT study. A DFT study is nothing but a quantum mechanical modeling of the molecule, and so on and so forth. Various other technique might have used, because when a bonding form, you should very clear that which atom is actually forming a linkage with the metal, because based upon that various characteristics, physical as well as chemical characteristics of that formed complex will be dependent usually. Now I am going to discuss that what are the real example of the ambidentate ligand, and these techniques, my dear friends, please keep in mind, these techniques are highly useful in order to understand the types of the bonding and the linkages in the coordination of complexes. Now let's move towards the real example. Now the first example I am discussing is a cyanido ligand. Cyanido means we have a Cn minus. So if you take cyanide, we have cyanido. Cyanido means carbon carry a negative charge, right? Nitrogen is having electron lone pair. If you look at this molecule, this ion is called as a cyanide ion. Cyanide ion name, and in coordination chemistry the E is replaced by O, so become a cyanido. So if you look at this molecule is having two sides. I'm writing the structure here. Cyanide is having a two potential donor site, one via a carbon and a second via the nitrogen. Okay, so let's say that it is forming bond from carbon and is forming a bond via a nitrogen. So if it form bond via carbon, this is known as cyanido, and if form via again, this is called isocyanide, or we can name by different way. In this we mention the atom which is forming a linkage. This is called cyanido dash carbon, it form a linkage, or this is can be called as cyanido dash N. Okay, let's move towards next example. We have next is a nitrito. Nitrito means NO2 minus. The ion name is called nitrite ion, and as I told already, the E is replaced with the O, become the name of the ligand. So if you look at very carefully in these, N double bond O and O carry negative charge, and we have lone pair on the nitrogen. Similarly, adding the same structure here, and if you look at very carefully, this side is also have two donor atom. One is via nitrogen and second is via the oxygen, right? So nitro is possess two donor side, nitrogen and oxygen, and if it's forming via nitrogen, this is called as a nitrito. We can name as a nitrito N, or if it's forming via O, it's called nitrito O, or else nitro N or a nitro O. Let's move towards a third example, and in third example, I am just replacing one of the oxygen of nitrito ligand by sulfur, and that becomes a thionitrito. So third example we have a thio means sulfur, thio nitrito, right? In this structure is NOS negative charge. So if I write on the structure here, N double bond O we have, now S carry a negative charge, double bond lone pair on the nitrogen, and similarly here N double bond O, then S carry negative charge, lone pair here. So if you look at molecule very clearly, this molecule will have three donor sites, right? So I'm writing again structure here, one structure for the bonding, N double bond O, and we have S minus and lone pair. If you look at sulfur minus carry 3 electron lone pair, okay? I'm writing here 1, 2 and 3. Oxygen is have 2 electron lone pair. That means that all the atom, nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur, can be act as a potential donor. So if I form the linkage from nitrogen here, I can form via sulfur also and via oxygen. That means a thionitrito ligand has three sites, nitrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So name in this way a thionitrito atom, which is forming a linkage N. Now here a thionitrito S, and here a thionitrito O, right? So one molecule has 3 donor sites and all will use for the bonding with the given metal ion. Now the fourth I am moving. Now in the fourth, the next example is cyanato ligand, and structure is we have O C double bond N and we have a a minus charge. Remember that in this case, oxygen and nitrogen act as donor side, but carbon never form a bonding with the metal. So atom structure for this O C triple bond N, and this is carry a 3 electron lone pair since it have already negative charge. N carry 1 electron lone pair, and OC triple bond N, and again we have 3 lone pair here, right? So let's say that it's forming a bond with oxygen, and here it's forming a bond with nitrogen. This is called as cynato, and this is called isocyanato, or can be cynato O, cynato dash N. I'm moving for the next example, example number 5. In this example, now I have replaced one of the oxygen of this cynato group via sulfur. Now this become a new anion, and this is called a thiocyanato. Thiocyanato means we have here sulfur, and this is C triple bond N, and sulfur carry a negative charge. Again, sulfur and nitrogens are the potential donor, and carbon never form a linkage with the metal. Writing the structure here, C triple bond N carry electron lone pair. Now sulfur has negative charge, that's why we have 3 electron lone pair on the sulfur, negative charge. Same thing writing here, C triple bond N, we have N carry lone pair, sulfur carry 3 electron lone pair, negative charge. So it can form, sulfur can form bond with the metal. Similarly, nitrogen can form bond with the metal. So if sulfur form the bond, this is called thiocyanato. And if nitrogen form, this is called isocyanato or thiocyanato dash S, thiocyanato dash N. Okay, now let's move further. Now if I replace sulfur in the above example by selenium, we'll get the new kind of ligand, and this is called as a seleno. Seleno means selenium. Seleno cyanato. Now if you look at here, sulfur I will replace by selenium. Now become new class of the ligand in which selenium carry a negative charge. In the selenium and nitrogen are the donor atoms. So write on the structure here. Same thing, selenium C triple bond N we have. Now selenium carry a negative charge electron lone pair we have, lone pair. Now since it have negative charge, selenium will have 3 electron lone pair, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So it can form bonding via selenium, metal, and nitrogen, right? So if I write down through selenium, this is called selenocyanato. If via nitrogen, this is called isoselenocyanato, or else selenocyanato dash selenium, selenocyanato dash N. Now next example I am discussing, and this is a very excellent example, which is a neutral ligand, and the name is dimethyl sulfoxide. The 7th example we have DMSO, and various study has been employed for this. This is called dimethyl sulfoxide. This is called dimethyl sulfoxide. Now here what we have, sulfur has electron lone pair, S double bond O, and we have here CS3 and the CS3. So if you look at this molecule, oxygen carry 2 electron lone pair. So this DMSO can have sulfur bonded or the oxygen bonded, and various study has been done on this complex, and it has been found that DMSO has the potential to act as an amidantate ligand via sulfur or via the oxygen. Moving towards the next example is we have thiosulfato. Thiosulfato means we have S2O3 minus 2. The structure, this is structure S double bond S. We have double bond O, and O carry negative charge, O carry a negative charge. So we can see here one S, second S, S2, and 1, 2, 3. 3 oxygen and minus 2 charge. So this is the again molecule. If you see very carefully, sulfur is having electron lone pair, right? So that means that this molecule can be bounded via a sulfur through this atom here and via oxygen. Thiosulfato molecule has 2 bonding sites, sulfur and the oxygen. Moving towards the next example, and the next example is sulfato. This is called thiosulfato, and the next example is sulfato, and SO3 minus 2. Here, if you see very carefully, S double bond O negative charge, and O is carry a negative charge, and this is we have a lone pair. So if you take lone pair on the sulfur or on the oxygen, or it's negative charge here, it can be yes bonded, also it can be oxygen bonded even. So this molecule can bonded via 2 different sites, one via sulfur and one via oxygen. Now so far we have discussed the ligand in which the molecule bind through sulfur or the oxygen. Now next examples I am giving in which the various kinds of bonding are possible, and this is example. It's called as a thioxalato, a kind of ligand. Now this example is very important in which various kinds of bonding can be occur via different atoms. Now if you look at here, this is a call as we have C2 here. We have C2, 1, 2, 3, C2O3 and S minus 2. So we have 2 carbon, we have 1, 2, 3 oxygen, and we have 1 sulfur. So C2O3 is minus. So if you look at here this molecule, now I am going to change the bonding slightly, and carbon double bond yes, carbon single bond yes, and we have double bond O, and we have O minus, and we have O minus. Suppose if you look at the molecule very carefully, this molecule now can be bind via a sulfur and via oxygen. Next molecule can bind via oxygen and the oxygen, and hence the name is thio. You can remember that thioxalato. In bracket you have to mention the name of the atom to it is binding. So we have sulfur here and oxygen. Now next is we have a thioxalato. Both are oxygen and the oxygen. The next and the last example we have a dithioxalato, right? And the structure formula is we have a C2 O2 S2 minus 2. That means in this ligand again I replace one oxygen via sulfur. Now if you look at the structure very carefully, C double bond O and S minus 2 and S minus 2, right? So C2 O2 S2. Similarly here I can write down that double bond S and double bond S, we have O minus and we have O minus. Okay, so we have O minus and O minus. Next I will again slightly change the structure. C double bond S Okay, and here C double bond O. So we have O negative and we have sulfur as a negative. So first molecule can bind both via sulfur as a second can bind both via oxygen, but in the third it is using oxygen and the sulfur, and the compound name is, this is called dithiooxalato. In bracket you have to mention the atom, that is sulfur sulfur. The next will be dithiooxalato. In bracket you have to mention the name. We have both oxygen and the oxygen, and this will be, this compound name will be now dithiooxalato. In this case we have sulfur and the oxygen are the binding sites. So so far we have discussed the various example of ambidextrous ligand, and this is very useful in a coordination chemistry. I hope that you like this video. If you have any question, please reply me. Have a nice day. Good luck.